Number three. Number two. Number three. Okay, I know what day it is. Hot Wax 93 says, Mike Winger, if believers are taken directly to heaven when they die, then why does 1 Thessalonians 4:16 say the dead in Christ rise at his return? Doesn't that suggest they're in their graves? 1 Thessalonians 4:6. Let's go to that passage together. 4:16. All right. Okay, it says here, for the Lord the Lord himself will, future tense, right? He will descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel, and with the trumpet of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. Clearly, there is a resurrection that is in the future. And when this happens, you can't be like, well, this already happened, you just didn't notice it. He says, then we who are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And thus we shall always be with the Lord. So comfort one another with these words. I want you to stop for a minute and think about this as a Christian. This is your hope. It is not just that God will use the things in your life that are tough for good. That's true. It's not just that the Holy Spirit is with you, present with you now, which is also true and wonderful. It is also, it's a slew of other things, but it's also that you have a future resurrection. And if you're alive when Jesus returns, we will be caught up together. We will be living with the Lord for all eternity in new bodies or changed bodies, glorified. But how does this affect the idea, at least my own belief, that if I die right now, I'm actually in God's direct presence, like I go to be with the Lord? Well, I think that the explanation for this is to recognize that I am somewhere, even though I'm not in my body, in between my death and the resurrection. So if I was to die now, where is it that I go? Right? When Jesus died, he went somewhere. It says he went to Hades. He went, to where the spirits of those who had previously died were being kept, and there he preached to them. I mean, he explained to them what he'd done on the cross. It seems like that's 1 Peter, interesting passage. So like I go somewhere when I die. I don't just die. And so this is, previously people would go to Hades, but after the resurrection of Christ, I believe that we actually go to be with God's presence. We go into God's very presence. Now, we get a little bit of this talked about when Paul says that he's torn between a dilemma, right? He's got this incredible desire to die, not to die. I shouldn't put it that way, because even Paul's careful. He doesn't want it to come off that way. Incredible desire to be with the Lord, which involves this body dying, and he says, depart. I desire to depart and be with the Lord. But I also want to be in this world and have an impact for you, because I know there'll be fruit from my labor in your lives. And so he's torn between two worlds, right? The current world that is not as good, but where the labor of ministry and the gospel can happen, and the desire to be with Christ. Now, this is no dilemma. If when he dies, he's sort of completely unaware, or if he's not actually in the presence of Christ. Like, there's no dilemma here. The dilemma is based on the idea that he thinks that when he dies, he is going to be in God's presence. Doesn't mean his body will be. There's a resurrection later that happens. So I just say we separate those two. This is why he says, hey, this is why Paul says, for me to live is Christ and to die is gain. Whenever he dies, he'd like it to happen sooner. Part of him would. It's not suicidal at all. This isn't about the despair of this world. This is about the hope of what's coming. That's all it's about, actually. And Paul obviously doesn't support suicide and all that. I have a video on suicide. You guys can just type my name in the word suicide if you'd like to understand more about it, at least from I think a biblical perspective. So yeah, I think that's how I would explain that, is just separate the resurrection from where I am before the resurrection, and say, yeah, that's going to be in the presence of Christ. And you can get hints of this from the book of Revelation, depending on how you understand the book of Revelation. Because what you do is you have redeemed people in heaven, and they're worshiping God, but they're waiting for their resurrected bodies. Isn't that interesting? Martyrs who were killed, and they're waiting. How long, oh Lord? They're waiting on those resurrected bodies. The resurrection comes later in the book, but there they are in the presence of God. And so Revelation gives us a nice picture of that I think further supports this view.